welcome back to another episode of American Garage Today TV. Anyways, Rented Lip. Today, Big D and I are working on replacing this. Look at this particle board. Anyways, this popsicle stick. It was a feeble attempt at a speaker, like a packaging tray, and it's for our 66 Bug. She's back with us, so we're gonna make her even better. So today what we're gonna do, we scribed, and I made sure the speaker holes were centered, and I had to buy this ABS, which is roughly a 1/2 inch material for 3/8. It's actually the same thickness. The problem with the particle board is it sagged and it broke. And if you're familiar with particle board, it's junk. So we are going to, oh, and also somebody got happy and I had to rebuy all my stuff. We got that, and then so I got a lot of stuff in storage. Ended up buying a new Rotazip. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna cut this, and then we'll go on a little, like a 1/10 over the line, outside the line, and we're gonna test fit this. And keep in mind, we're going to wrap this in leather, and that's gonna add about a 1/16 around the perimeter, so actually an 1/8 inch overall. And what's gonna happen is when we put this back in, we have to compensate for that. So we'll take some strips and we'll wrap and tape them down on all 4 ends and see how that fits, and also sideways. And if that fits perfectly, we know that our board is where we need it to be. And then we'll go ahead and we start drilling it, cutting this out and then wrapping her. But we have to also file and fill this out. Is that thing working? Yeah, it's still working. I don't know why that thing shut off. What was it, a couple weeks ago? It shut off, I don't know how many times on us. And it's a brand new battery and kit. I don't want to cut the board. My cable. Oh, that's good. Alright, so we got our battery recharged, and we're going to finish our cut. You got it? And stay on me now. Boom! Yes. Yeah. And we'll save this for later.
You want to cut that little corner off?
No. In case we, I don't know, in case we need something, you never know.
What, this?
So, that, oh no, we're going to do that in a minute. Okay. And then we're going to take that to the board. That sander. So, oh yeah, we got that corner there too. Well, let's hope we get, come over here. Make sure it doesn't bind, otherwise it goes against the blade of the battery. Okay, and then that is just a little blip. And over here. That's the radius we got to work on. All right, we made it. Look at that. Shit. Woo. What a mess. me a favor, gather all this up, get some glue, and just stick it all back together so we'll have another section of board.
It might work like that.
So we don't start doing, you know,
Slip and slip.
the shuffle. We used to have, you know, years ago, we go out to, it's called Bobby McGee's. We went out dancing, and they'd always have one day of the week dedicated to like drink night, you know, dollar drinks or something.
Yeah.
And they had this sand, and there's the DJ, and I would sneak and grab it. And people, I'd find somebody, you know, it's all into their dance. And at the time, it was like, oh, what's his name, Prince? One dude dressed up like him, white dude, freakish. And I would just take the sand and then stick it back up there. And they're like, whoa! And I thought that was hilarious. All right, I guess we can grind this. And when we do that, and we'll have to radius this to match this, clean that up. Actually, you know what? Why don't you get a Ziz wheel? And we could do that here. And then we'll go pre-test fit this before we continue. All right? Good. We got all those edges rolled. So you'll notice we're rolling the edges here, and that's just for the veneering of the leather. Yeah, we'll check that. I know that one's a little more sharper than this. All right, why don't we pre-fit this, you know? Let's see how this fits in there. And then, like I said, keep in mind, we need to ensure that the leather doesn't make it too wide all the way around the perimeter. All right, there she is. So, all right, we're gonna go to that Volkswagen. Come with me, will you? Walk this way. How's that fitting there?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Oh, it goes down?
Honestly, it could have been a little wider. Unless I got it in backwards.
No. No. Your contour is to the back.
That's a bunch of room.
All right.
Like it could have been a little bit more.
Can hardly see you back there. Push that seat down. There we go. So I can get it. Yeah, push it down so I get a shot. There we go. Perfect. All right. Looks like we could get look at what they did there. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that's what they got.
I'm the owner, so I'm never really usually working on these cars, but recently we lost a tech, and I've had to jump back on board. Oh, look at that. That's actually short, a little, but when it comes down, it'll fit. But what they did is, because this used to have, I guess, a rear seat, they had stepped that up and propped it with that foam, which is ridiculous. That's jerry-rigged. Well, I can't help it. That thing's going to be free floating, but at least it won't crack.
We were gonna build brackets to it. They'll keep it like mounted where it wouldn't move.
I don't know.
But
all right, let's pull that out and let's go ahead and roto-zip that opening. Oh. All right, so our holes are cut out. We're going to file and smooth and open this up. And we are going to use some speaker baffles. So we have to allow for that. So that's why I'm going to grind up around that perimeter, because that'll have to be open a little larger than just the speaker itself to allow the thickness of the, and it's a foam material, a squeeze. Where art thou? Okay, our speakers were here. Somebody picked them up. Where do you think they were? Give me an educated guess. Duh, they were silver with the grills. And what the heck? Wow, we lost our speakers. All right, well, don't you go away. We're gonna look for our speakers and our baffles, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got a couple choices here. We trimmed off the excess. And this hole, here's the thing I should have anticipated. Whoever built this original cut the hole open a little bit too much, but we still have enough lip. It's perfect if you're gonna put this in first. So you're gonna mock everything up. So we're looking at this, and yeah, that's snug, and we're gonna have some bite through the board when we screw this down. Here's the grill. And now when we put this on and we look at it, you can see how high it's sticking up. It's about a ½ inch. And that's gonna look stupid. So what we're gonna end up doing is pulling this off, out of the way. We're gonna glue this to the rear. And we've got this lined up. And then, when we put the grill on, and we need to clean these up. There's still a little bit, but that's a lot closer. That's about within 1/8 of an inch. So that's gonna look nice. These are ancient speakers. These are the Sony Explodes. This thing's like circa 1990, 95. Or Sony, excuse me. No, I said Sony, right? Okay. So we're gonna set those aside. And we've got that marked. We need to get this one over here marked. Okay, and again, keep in mind, we need to make sure that we not only get that in line straight across the grill, not that you're probably going to notice it, but when we make these markings, we need to make sure that wherever those holes are, that we're going to have enough meat through the board to mount to. And that looks like, yeah, that's not even touching. So I have to shift that over, lift that up for the light, and that's good. And then 1, 2. They've got 2 sets of different holes here. Just make sure you have the correct ones, and you can acquire that by matching up with the grill. All right, so that's our hole. Got it marked. So we're going to drill for the screws, gather our hardware, because this never really had any decent or correct hardware. So what we need to do is, I'm going to expand this one out just a bit right here. Okay, that's good. Just push that. There we go. So now we're going to drill our holes, get our hardware, and what we could do is we can actually get the speed clips, and we can screw into that under here and then put on a washer, and that way that'll sandwich this so we don't have to glue this on, and then this will come from underneath like that.
So it's sit flat.
Yep, and then all we have to do for that is the same thing where we drop this into place. Actually, let's go ahead and put this back in. This one was better. So let's pop that in. All right, get that right there. It's good enough. Who cares how it looks in the bottom? You're never going to see it. And the same thing here. And mark where you're going to drill your holes. Actually, these will be punched. It's foam, so it's more forgiving than the board. The board is a hard, dense material, of course, so there you go. Those are our markings. Next, and some of the holes are already here. Somebody attempted this before, so let's see. It's close. No big deal. Make some new markings. Punch some new holes. Bob's your uncle. I don't know where they got that from. Bob's your uncle, mate. All right. And those, doesn't matter which side. And that's it. We don't need to clean this up. We'll leave that alone. And because this is going to be underneath, we're going to roll the fabric underneath. So that's going to catch up in the perimeter and help to center this and keep this where the meat is. And this is what I'm talking about right here. We need material, some meat to bite into. We'll do that. Actually, this right here can, we're gonna leave this, we're gonna make this, there's a textured side. This is gonna be the inside. You know why? Because we're gonna scuff this with a red, get rid of the glaze, and it's gonna be easier to glue on here. Okay? So, we'll take that off now. It doesn't matter if we scratch this because you're never gonna see it. Oh, I'm sorry. We just screwed up. We'll have to do that again. That took away my markings. Jesus. Stuff gets all over the place, doesn't it? The Ziz wheel. And, okay. Right, and this will also help against, you know, in movement and vibration. Yes, we're gluing it down, but a sharp edge will end up cutting through the material. And we don't want that. Remember, you got to charge extra for that kind of stuff. No, you don't. I'm just BSing you. All right, so let's finish this side. And we're good there. Just a little bit here down this line. Nice and straight. Okay, so this is going to be our veneer side. So we got our Scotch-Brite, a red Scotch-Brite, and all we're going to do is where the edge is and where we're going to glue, we're just busting off the glaze so that glue sticks better. That's all. And then, of course, you can do the whole bottom. A go around where you're going to roll this, and I got to roll the edges on the inside as I pull that leather around. Where the heck is that? Okay. All right. Looking good. All right, welcome back. I'm just finishing up with my pre-installation, got all my hardware selected. I've got panhead screws in black, which were like the original. Somebody used drywall screws, they lost everything. I've got these stainless flat washers, it's like a number 4. And then I've got these, I don't know if you can see that, speed nuts. All right, so, and I always generally have a habit of taking a sample of each. So next time when I, like on the weekends, I'll go to the hardware store and I'll be able to replenish what I use to make sure ensure that I have that stuff left in stock. Okay, so this is gonna lie directly over and come in contact with our, that foam that you saw earlier, and that's fine. So that's it. So there she is. Now I'm going to disassemble this, going to wrap this, locate my holes with this little awl. This I'm going to keep with me. Put this in my pocket. Like I said, I want to make sure I get more of this stuff. And then after I take this apart, we're going to start veneering. So let me get started. Well, hello and welcome back. We actually had to take a break since the last time you saw us. So the other frame just 2 seconds ago, because we had to buy another one of these. We had this, well, I got a lot of not so nice words to say about him. Somebody featured on an earlier video, known for years, just when you thought you got to know a person, paid them up front, ripped us off. Not only ripped us off, took the customer's rear seat. I'm waiting for a replacement, and it's in the thousands. I mean, up there, close to 10 grand. And we had to buy a new one of these. These are about 250 bucks, roughly 235 to 250. This is actually the second generation of the first model. It's by BEA. It's from Germany, and it is a very wonderful staple gun. And when I asked for the differences, apparently it has supposed to have a little stronger head. It's got a little somewhat nicer contour. It's just different in color, where the other one had a little finger grip here. So now that we got this in place, okay, we got it centered, we had to reuse, as you recall, his original. I've got leather in stock. The only problem is, hey, quiet on the set. Anyways, it would be black leather, and rather than trying to fish for a new piece, we're just going to reuse this. So this was just holding it together, centered. All right, I'm going to take about half of it off, and I have to clean my glue gun out. Oh, just leave the glue in there, it'll be fine. Well, I guess if you're pushing glue every day, that might be so, but not here. I have to literally jackhammer it out. All right, and somebody's trying to bother me. Another scam. You guys probably get that. I get tons of those. Okay, so that all being said, we are going to, she works. We got our glue. And if you recall, we're going to let this set up and tack. Okay? So I just need a little more excess. And we're going to spray this out. That's still a little, I wasn't able to get it that cleaned up internally. Now, if anything, all I can do is wrap it around the edges. I can't do much on the inside, but the speakers will hold that down. I'll get that corner there. And then we're going to do this. This was never gotten before. This thing's kind of acting up. If you get a little glue on some stuff, just get a little lacquer thinner and you clean it that way. All right. We're gonna let that gas off for a bit, but we're also going to use, where did it go? Here's our 77. We are gonna tack this, but since this gun is acting up, I'm going to spray the perimeter, and I don't have to cut anything off. All right. Well, why not? A little extra glue. I want that around the perimeter. I want that to stick. All right, so we're gonna let this gas off. Give you a minute. I'm gonna go grab a fresh iced tea because I spilt it a moment ago. And look at this, I got glue all over my new gun. How nice. Again, so while I'm cleaning my gun and getting my fresh tea, why don't you do the same? Take a break, and I'll be right back in a frame. All right, we're back. Finished cleaning and got me some more tea. Wonderful. All right, so now this thing is pretty much tacked. Yep. Now, because I straightened the speakers, this thing, the holes didn't line up that well, so I'm not going to push it. If anything, I'm going to try to squeeze it backwards. Get that around there. They had a couple holes here, probably for some kind of mounting, but they had a bunch of styrofoam propping this up. All right, so that's that. That's pretty well set. And then we're gonna come around here, and this is where we're gonna start. And I see here they didn't pie cut or anything. All right, so we got our gun. We're gonna start stapling. Oh. Helps to have air. Okay. All right, let's see here. That's a 5/16 staple going right into this ABS. It's doing fine.
I think we'll leave it right about there because we need to reglue that. Alright? And then, what's right here? Okay. That gone away? Alright, since we're stapling, I'm going to go ahead and lock this down right now. But I want to unfold this. Okay? Get that pulled over and just level out.
Here. Now I'm going to lock this down over here and then work my way to the corner. Alright, I'm going to set the center one, just one staple, and then overlap that with the other one. Here we go. It's kind of why I'm using the 5/16. I don't know if you can see that. It's not the greatest, it's not pretty, but it'll work. And then pull the rest in. I'm going every inch or so. You know what? That thing is under a bit of pressure. Staples are just going right through. Let me see if I can't. There we go. Just kind of back off on it. Get that excess out of there. There we go. Just don't push down too hard, or literally go in the space adjacent to where the staple was, and it's doing fine. Alright, that's done. Now we're going to flip this over and get the rest of it, and this part will be done. I've already pre-drilled my holes. I'll probably go over with the leather conditioner again, and once I put the speakers in and bolt them down, you won't see any of this right here. So let's get these out of the way. Looks like we got some glue there. We'll get that with the lacquer thinner. Okay, bring this back here. This is where we're at. Just peel that back just a little more. In fact, I'm gonna just use the shaker can for the glue, because I am using staples. Get that edge. See, this thing's a little more precise. That gun's gonna have to get cleaned out more thoroughly. Give this a few minutes to gas off, and we're ready to go. Yep. Okay, we're done with that. Put that aside. Got like an air gun or a heat gun, go ahead. It's fairly tacky. Like I said, since I am using staples, I'm just going to start. My corner set. That's good. Alright, got some glue right over here, so I want to shift over here. Bring that up. Everything's good. I'll get my glue this time. And I'm just going to run this right around the perimeter. Okay. We've got that bunched up over there. These guys didn't understand what a pie cut is, so. What it does is kind of relieve the material so it doesn't have to bunch up so much. That looks good. Start from the center, work our way out. Same thing here. Work the corner, get that pie cut. I'm going to go ahead and set this first. Bring this over. That's done. Just make sure your staples don't exceed the thickness of the board if you have a habit of putting your fingers underneath for support. Otherwise, you will get a snake bite. Just a few more. And that should conclude our repair. You're not going to see any of this. Is it pretty? Not really. Could it be better? Sure. But, you know, we're reusing the existing. Alright. So, there she is. It's all nice and glued. It was never glued before. Okay, and in the sun that'll soften where I have the marks from the clamps. My gun is clean. I like it. And then, where our plan was to drop the speaker in and this underneath. Okay, so the speakers were all cleaned up as well. Probably put my wiring to the center. That just falls in. I just got to get my pick, find my holes, and mount her. Okay, just gonna go like that. I'm gonna get me a little lacquer cleaner and get my pick. We're gonna find those holes, mount the speakers, and she's done. So, see you on the next frame. All right, hello and welcome back. So, we're screwing in our, fastening in our speakers. And that guy is acting up again, aren't you? Come here. All right. Are you with us now? All right, it's this new little toy. It's supposed to follow me around. Anyways, so we got some lacquer thinner here. Got a little bit of glue right there. And away the glue goes. Just keep it away from this silver paint here. We will get our leather cleaner on that later. There we go. This was fairly dirty and dingy to begin with. We've cleaned it up the best we could. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's clean. Somewhat. Anyway, so pretty much have to stop right here, but this is our speaker setup. Ta-da! And once we get this back in the car and we fish our wiring, which are going to run to the inside, these guys go over like that. I'll have to poke a hole here, basically like this, right here, right about there. And I got to fish our wiring in. Let's open that up just a little more. Come on. That'll do. Go this way. Alright, that's for our wiring. So, the way this is going to work, this will go down. I've already got my holes drilled out. I've got a washer that goes on. And then on top of that, I got a speed nut. And then you're just going to fasten it. And that's how she goes together. And basically put all this away when it's actually ready to be installed, which is right now. You don't have to wait for it to dry up or anything. We got those staples on there. Just take all my hardware, secure it, double that up, and she's done. Anyways, and again, there she is. like to thank you for tagging along. Another episode of American Garage TV. We'll see you on the next one. Until now, I'm your host, Jim Speed Shop. Be sure to like, subscribe, and smash that like button, as they say. Anyways, just touch it. That's all you need to do. Nothing else. Tell a friend.